write something about the workplace culture, because you realize that there are a lot of concerns that are coming out of this. Sometimes you want to ask yourself, when they tell you to be a bad girl, what do they exactly mean? Do they exactly mean that, you know, put the best photo on WhatsApp and text this boss and tell them I want a job? Or what exactly do they mean?
I think that if, I don't know how to, you know, it's very hard when we're discussing job opportunities, because on one hand we're saying there are no job opportunities and we have a lot of unemployed youth. On the other hand, we are actively in my field telling you know, people who want to enter the job market, or if you're in the job market, that you cannot and should not stay in toxic work environments. Mental health comes first, you know, so those kind of things. So, but the fact remains is, if work cultures are created normally in an ideal situation, bottom up, right? So the bottom up approach is used when you're creating a workplace culture. However, in more traditional leadership styles, which you see in Africa, in Greater Africa, it's the top to bottom. So you get told, like, hey, this is how things are done. Women serve the tea. You know, the boss's door is always closed. Nobody gets to ask questions after the meeting. Cultures like that are normally from bottom up. But what I'd say is that, and this is something that we all get to learn from Gen Zs. We were talking about it during tea break. I was even here a couple of months ago when we were talking about Gen Zs in the workplace, and they're teaching us things that we probably already knew, probably needed a reality check on, and some things that we didn't even know that we needed to make life easier. And one of them is they're taking the high road on a lot of issues. So when a lot of generations before Gen Z tended to look the other way when a man put his hand up your skirt, you know, or said something, or did something like, because you refuse me to do that, you don't get a promotion. But Gen Z will walk out, even leave the salary. I've seen it happening. Leave that month's salary and say, goodbye, take care, have a good life, and then walk out of there. So those are things that we need to, I know it's in this economy, it's tough, but I'd say to anyone out there, you were talking about how you are that's not a culture you want to live in. It's not a big why, because it's not a culture you'll thrive in. You will get through burnout, you will get through different levels, nuanced abuses, and you will never grow. You'll never thrive. There'll be no promotion. So you dodged a bullet, yes. Is it difficult in this economy? Yes. I'm just saying, but once you're in a place, remember your voice makes a difference. And this is what we're saying about women in leadership as well. If you decide to take a back seat, if you decide not to push those boundaries, then you will always be stagnated. So like you were saying earlier, we're done with the Book of Lamentations. Yes. We really need to be. It's 2025. You guys are a whole new generation. I know you come from a similar age group here. It ends with us. That's your motto leaving this room. It ends with us. So if you can change it, change it. By all means, that's your role. That's why you're probably being put into this world anyway. If you cannot change it, then you use it to step on and leap. That's how it is, okay? So I feel like to answer to the question that you were raising about, so I'm not a political analyst, neither do I know about American politics. All I know is when I said that Kenya is a patriarchal society, I did not say the West isn't. America, one thing it's known for, especially when it comes to politics, is being very, very patriarchal. It's a man-led, white man, you know, rich man, oil-rich man. Yeah, like it's like all that. So women don't stand that chance. However, because the women in the West speak louder, they tend to have policies and laws and reach further than we do here. Maybe it's to do with the religion. You know, we're religious people, we're cultural people, so we tend to be. And this is something else, and it's coming out here, is let's not lose our femininity in this war. I'm calling it a war because that's what it sounds like. It's not. But as we progress and charter our way, as we're carving this road for the girls that you guys are going to birth, and their daughters and the daughters after that, we need to remember that our femininity is our superpower. I know that the bad girl, you know, has become such a thing to say now, lose the good girl syndrome. And I feel so sad when I hear these things, because why do I need to be bad? Why can't I be good and still make strides?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, and that's where toxic femininity comes in, where you're in collision. You're in a collision course versus, no, we're walking this together with the men. And my femininity, the fact that I can be a boss and a CEO at work and go home and still cook for my husband and my kids, and be a mother and a wife, and you know, just go and do the things that a loving woman would do for a husband, doesn't mean that ati nimejangusha, ati now look at her, ata hana, you know, she doesn't have value for herself. No, I'm just saying that let's not lose that. Once we lose that, we're losing everything else. So, but another thing, I know you said it in a good way when you said, what do you bring to the table? We get asked this a lot. It's off-putting, because if you interviewed me and him, and we both had the same credential, you know what I'm bringing on the table. But probably the response to it saying, oh, I'm the ground that the table is put on, can come off, and like the comment that you read, and a lot of men who tend to think like we are, as women, using this as a free pass.